Hello and welcome. You are listening to episode 109 of the Nearly Men Video Games Podcast, coming to you live from Twitch in Scotland on Thursday the 19th of May 2022. I'm Paul Kaczynski, and joining me today is Blunderboy87.
Ahoy hoy.
And Colin_NM.
He stole my thing.
We are the Nearly Men, and this episode of the podcast is brought to you by executive producer Hamster Boy.
Mr. Producer.
We have nothing to do with the video games industry. We don't make them, we don't sell them, and we're not even particularly good at them. We are the Nearly Men, and at some point, you've probably kicked our asses online. 100% read that.
Can't believe he stole my thing. Can't believe it.
He stole my thing last week.
He's wild. He's out of control.
He's a thief and a murderer.
I love that. I love that. I'm just like, I'm going to take all your jokes and do them badly.
Gentlemen, here we are in episode 109. How are you?
Not bad. Not bad. How are you?
All right. I've had a wee cold this week, so I'm a wee bit off 100%, but I'm all right.
I think everyone's been a bit poorly. I was sick over the weekend and stuff. And there's a few people on work who've been unwell as well, so I think there's a wee bug kicking a bit.
It's the world opening up, isn't it? It's the world opening up.
Everybody's
touching your face and things.
Took a hit when we were all masked up and hidden away from one another, and now we're all just crawling in disease.
It was funny because when I was in work not well, I was wearing my mask and everyone kept going, "Why are you wearing your mask?" I was like, "I've got a cold," and they just went, "Oh." But it was, I was like, I'm wearing it for a reason, clearly. But I felt quite good being able to be at work but keep the mask on. Just so you know, you're running like kind of big coughing over everyone. So it was funny just the way they were like, "Why are you wearing a mask?"
Outrageous. And have you been much gaming? Have you managed to squeeze in gamings? You've been both very busy.
I've managed a few games.
Nice.
Yeah, just a few casual, nothing new, nothing overly exciting, nothing catching me off guard.
Fair play.
Yeah, not an awful lot for me. Little bits. Did manage to get a couple of little streams. But yeah, it's been pretty busy. I missed the community day at Sea of Thieves because, well, I had to go to your house, Paolo.
The House of Doom.
House of Doom. It's a miracle I went to your house and I haven't been ill this week.
Do you know what I mean? Must be.
I feel like I didn't get the full experience.
Well, listen, for all the gaming that we've not managed, the community have done it in shovels, as it were, and they've dropped us a line and let us know. And if you want to do the same, you can do it here.
Reaching the Nearly Men is easier than ever. Search for the Nearly Men Video Games Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or your preferred podcast player. We stream on Twitch. Follow Colin at Colin_NM. Follow Paul at Paul Kaczynski, all one word. Follow Blunderboy at Blunderboy87. And let's get social on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram where we are at Nearly Men, or go old school and email us on info@thenearlymen.com. Need all that again? Links are on our website, thenearlymen.com. So what are you waiting for?
Indeed, what are you waiting for? We've still got t-shirts available, merch is still available. If you head to printbunker.co.uk, the lovely Colin Little is sporting one as we speak, as is Blunderboy. Oh,
Right.
Twins. That's what to call you bracelet buddies.
Paolo didn't.
No, I've not got a hoodie yet. I bought my wife a hoodie instead.
Oh, that's so romantic.
Do you know what I mean? Head on over to printbunker.co.uk. Under the collections there, you'll see Nearly Men. You can grab t-shirts for $15.99 and hoodies for the bargain price of $20.99. I still can't go over that. Can't go over that.
It's astonishing. I mean, we should have put those prices up.
We should have.
Raking it in, raking in the dough.
Wouldn't need to have done a podcast.
No, we could have just sat there like Scrooge McDuck on many hundreds of pounds.
Indeed. Listen, of course, this week is a podcast week. We've been alternated with multiplayer nights. We're starting to creep in some tasty events. Starting with next Thursday night, we are going to be doing a Sea of Thieves community evening ran by the legend, the myth, the story extraordinaire, Captain Shambles.
Whee!
The story
I couldn't think.
extraordinaire.
You need to do 3, and I couldn't think of a third.
Yeah.
It was hopeless.
It's all right. It's fine. It's not the worst intro you've ever given me, I must say.
This is true.
Yeah, next week, Thursday night, we'll be meeting up offline around 6:30 p.m. to get our server hops in. We'll need as many hands on deck as possible. But then we will be sailing hopefully around 7:30, 8 p.m. Who knows? But we'll be on Thursday night sailing throughout the night with the community. Spaces are filling up fast, though. We only have a couple left. We will have a little substitutes bench or whatever. So there'll be a sort of waiting list of people need to drop out and things like that. So please do make yourself known if you want to join the Nearly Men for some Sea of Thieves nonsense. I think what we're going to do is we'll probably have a bit of fun for the first hour or so. We'll maybe give folk the chance to go away, get some loot, do guild deeds or do anything that they have that they want to do in the safety of a server. And then the second half of the night is going to be Hunt the Nearly Men. Paolo and myself and one other member will be on one ship. Our ship is going to try and strive to survive while the rest of the community try to hunt us down and sink us. I think it's going to be an awful lot of fun. I think I'm already sweating buckets thinking about it, Paolo. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I think while everyone's away making lots of gold and stuff, we should literally just be getting supplies. We should be supply routes.
We're on the mediocrity. What can go wrong?
Well, exactly. What could go wrong?
A number of things.
Quite a lot, as it turns out. Yeah. But it's going to be an awful lot of fun. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Just have some nonsense, some silliness on the community, with the community. And it's going to be great. We've got a really lovely bunch of people playing along with us as well. So, yeah.
Just about to
make sure to get signed up.
Nice. It's got a list of people. There's some well-known faces as well as some people who haven't sailed with us as well, which is good.
Yes, yeah. So some of the usual suspects, some of the people that have sailed with myself and Paolo before, some of the folk who stream Sea of Thieves themselves. So we've got some pretty experienced Sea of Thieves players. But we've also got some folk who are relatively new at the game who are going to be playing as well. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It really is going to be an awful lot of fun. So I really do hope that you can join us for it. That will be the 26th of May here on twitch.tv/The Nearly Men, Thursday evening. We'll give you kind of direct times and all that on our social media a little closer at the time. But Thursday evening, it's the Nearly Men Community Sea of Thieves event. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Happy days, happy days. We got a wee post from the lovely Subtle Seraph in the Discord about a wee initiative that's happening at the moment, a wee offer, as it were, over on itch.io. They're calling it TTRPGs for Reproductive Rights. And I think itch.io say it quite well themselves. I'll just read what they say in their paragraph. Reproductive rights are under attack. According to a leaked opinion, Conservative Supreme Court justices are planning to overturn Roe versus Wade. Join us in raising funds to support and protect abortion rights. Now is the time to act and make our voices heard. Reproductive rights are fundamental and non-negotiable human rights that we must fight to protect. All proceeds from this bundle will be donated to Planned Parenthood and NNAF, so that much needed funds will be distributed on both national and local levels across race, gender and economic status. The bundle features hundreds of TTRPG creations from talented designers across the gaming community who have come together in support of reproductive rights. Because of the amazing value content included in this bundle, we hope you'll consider increasing your donation to $10 or more if you have the resources to do so. And what it is... I've actually lost how much it is. Is it $5? Is what the initial one is? I think it is.
Yes,
$5 is the minimum.
$5, yeah.
So $5, and it's getting you over 275 tabletop RPGs,
wow.
worth $1,300. So they're asking you to, give as much as you can. It is $5 minimum. They're suggesting maybe bump it up to $10 just to support them. It's a cause that we're all pretty much all behind, and it sounds like a great idea to raise some funds and get some tasty games at the same time. So while not exactly video games, we all love games here, and I know Blunder specifically is a big tabletop RPGer.
I do love a tabletop RPG.
Colin just likes to smash.
Yeah,
I do, and I can smash in tabletop RPGs
A lot. A lot. I've witnessed it. So head on over to itch.io and it's on the front page there. It'll take you straight to it. Thanks to Subtle Straff for bringing that to our attention.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, we have been speaking frequently about the PS Plus that's about to change.
Yes.
And we've held off speaking about it for a number of months because there's been very little details about it other than it's changing. Well, this week or last week, they've divulged a bit more information about it. There's going to be 3 tiers, as we knew. There's going to be Essential, Extra, and Premium. And they're going to release Japan 2nd of June, the US on the 13th of June, and UK, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand on the 23rd of June. Let me run down the prices. Essential, which is essentially the same as it is at the moment, so you're getting your multiplayer and your 2 games or 3 games a month. It's going to be $6.99 a month. That's $9.99, or $49.99 annually, which is $59.99. Extra is $10.99 a month, or $14.99, and $83.99 and $99 annually. That's just going to get very tongue twisted very quickly. And what the extra is going to give you is the PS4 and PS5 library that they're offering. The premium, which goes up to $13.49 or $14.99 for a month, or £99 and $119.99 annually, is the top tier, and that gives you access to PS1 games, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even a PSP game at launch, and also gives you trials. Have you seen these games, guys? I presume you have.
I have. It's whelmed.
Aye.
It's not the
Aye. The launch games from the Sony studios, you're going to be getting Returnal, Death Stranding Director's Cut, Demon's Souls, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, and Horizon Zero Dawn. That's your PS5 games. The third-party games, some of the highlights are going to be Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Control, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, apparently at the same time as Game Pass. Red Dead Redemption 2, Celeste, Dead Cells, Hollow Knight, and Outer Wilds. They're just I picked a few of them. So that would be what you would get at your extra. So the tier 2
at £10.99.
Aye, so you'd be getting something like that. If you wanted to bump up to the premium, you can get access to the PS1 games, PS2, and PS3 via cloud streaming. So the PS1 at the moment has got about 10 games, PS2 is around 13 games. It does include a Jack remaster, which I think is a Naughty Dog game, if I remember rightly.
Jack and Daxter.
Aye.
Yeah, they are Naughty Dog, aren't they?
PS3 via cloud streaming, you're getting about 30 games, and you're also going to get 2-hour trials of things like Cyberpunk and Horizon Frozen Wests, things like that. I think Blunder is hit the nail on the head there. It's not. I don't know how they were ever going to be wow with their list of games, to be honest.
I thought they were really going to launch with the PS1, PS2 back catalogue being like, boom, here's your dinner, here's all the good stuff you used to enjoy. And it's like, here's something. And that's when I was like, oh, maybe I won't go for premium straight away. Like, I was a bit like,
None of them are screaming out to me. Well, see all the PlayStation games, the PS5 games. I've got every one of those.
Well, I mean, that's a wee selection. So, like Miles Morales is there as well, for example.
See, that is one that I've not got. That's one I'd be interested to play. I guess that goes to show you that Miles Morales is not coming as a standard PS Plus game anytime soon, though.
I'm intrigued to know what the PS Plus games that are given away.
Yeah.
What are they going to become, like Xbox Live Gold? Do you know what I mean? Where it's a bit like, oh,
Lego
great,
Batman.
that's great. Oh, thanks very much.
That is an interesting thing. Will that happen? Because I feel if they're going to do that, they're going to need to give folk a bit more of a reason to actually jump to the extra package. I don't know. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many PS1 and PS2 games they they add and how quickly they do.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that is more interesting, I think, and that is something that Game Pass don't really have, and that's one of the things that Xbox doesn't really have. Xbox obviously has come on leaps and bounds, and obviously with them buying a lot of studios up there, they're definitely building up a sort of back catalogue, but Xbox themselves don't really have a massive back catalogue of games from many generations, and that's what Sony does have. So Blunder was very excited about the prospect of it, but not very excited at the moment.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see how quickly, are the Twisted Metal games, for instance, coming out? Are things like Vigilante 8, are Ridge Racers and various things like that all come into it? Is Wipeout and things like that coming? Games that actually were some, the whole Tekken series, is that all come into it? Because it should. That's the stuff that folk will want to see. Parappa the Rapper. Can you imagine that comes out?
Will that make it added because they remade that?
Yeah. Well, if they for instance do really, do you remember Fighting Force? Fighting Force was brilliant.
Gosh,
if they bring that out, if they really put the effort in and bring these games, then it could make a difference. But at the moment, I don't see a massive reason why I would want to jump from $6.99 a month to nearly £14 a month. It doesn't seem worth it at the moment. But I guess it'll take a little bit of time to get used to it, and I'm sure Sony have got stuff up their sleeve. And if, for instance, if you maybe have just got a PS5 and you don't have a lot of PS5 games, PS5 games are expensive. That is some really good games. Returnal's genuinely excellent. It was our game of the year. Death Stranding Director's Cut's fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Demon's Souls is amazing. It really is amazing. Whether it's quite as good as Elden Ring, that's another thing, but it's a really good game, Demon's Souls. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut is excellent. And Horizon Zero Dawn is a very good game, especially if you're interested in playing Forbidden West. Then Zero Dawn is really going to help. So if you don't have those games, that is a huge amount of value just there. I mean, that's like 200 quid's worth of games right there. That makes a bit of a difference. But for me, in my very privileged position at the moment, having all those games, I'm like,
Just to chuck a few PS2 and PS1 games at you, just to see if it's anything jumps out. You've got Ape Escape 2, Ark the Lad, Dark Cloud, Fantavision, Hotshot Tennis, Rogue Galaxy, Siren, and Wild Arms, as well as Jack. That's your
Wild
PS2
Arms
ones.
See, the awkward thing with that is they were already on the PS Store for PS4 and 5. So again, there's nothing new now. It's things people probably, if they wanted them, they've been playing them for the past 5 years.
Were those games on PS Now? Or were they the ones?
I don't know. I bought the ones I wanted for the store.
PS1, you're getting Ape Escape, Hotshots Golf, IQ, Intelligent Cube, Jump and Flash, Mr. Driller, Siphon Filter, Tekken 2, Worms at Armageddon, and Worms World Party. It's not...
A few interesting ones there. Siphon Filter, Jump and Flash. I just love that game.
I love the Worms games. I do. I mean, listen, there are some great games there, obviously. But, it'll be interesting to see. For instance, can they do a deal with Capcom? Can they get all the Resident Evils on there, for instance? Can they get Dino Crisis or something like that on there? What
There's
was
not
the
a single horror game on yet, and now the horror fans are like, where's all the classic horror?
Yeah, what's the PS1 horror game that's sort of set in like Victorian London?
Nightmare Creatures.
Nightmare Creatures. Where's Nightmare Creatures? That's what we need. That game is excellent.
Well, listen, it might just be the start of things to come. They've obviously threw it together fairly quickly, I think, and we know that all these...
because they spent 2 years panicking, going, what are we going to do with Game Pass?
Pretty much. And of course, there's been a pandemic in amongst all that as well, so it's maybe slowed everything down, and we know that these rights and royalties and all that stuff can take a long time to figure out. So it could just be the start, and who knows. It's I can tell you that the first Tuesday of each month, as it is with PS Plus at the moment, is going to bring new games to all tiers, as well as a wee mid-month edition for the extra and premium tiers. So the extra and premium are going to get new games twice a month, again, like Game Pass, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So we can but hope. And they maybe want to keep a few things up their sleeve.
I'm sure inevitably they will.
Yeah. But anyway, we shall see when it all drops next month, really, for everyone. I think it's out in Asia on the 24th of May. Other than that, it's the 2nd of June for Japan, 13th for Europe, Australia, New Zealand. 13th for US and 23rd of June for Europe, Australia, New Zealand. So let us know if you're going to pick it up, everybody. If you're going to get it. What's your thoughts? I saw there was a wee Dead by Daylight thing that creeped out this week.
There is, just a wee one.
Tell us about it, Blunder Boy.
So Dead by Daylight had their 6th anniversary stream where they kind of released a bunch of information and set out a roadmap for the year ahead. So I'm going to kind of just go through things quickly.
Oh.
The biggest, excitingest bit for me is they officially announced another Resident Evil chapter crossover called Project W, which clearly stands for Wesker. So Diet Punk actually has a great picture of me reacting to it. I'll try and find it and send it to you. Because I watched it live on stream, so there was me kind of talking about it, and I had to forget then. So, but that's been announced. That's the next chapter after the anniversary chapter.
So Wesker is a killer?
Yeah, so we think Wesker is the killer, and then it was rumoured he was going to be a new killer, and then Ada and Rebecca were going to be survivors, so me and Ada are going to be besties. But a lot was announced, so I've got a big list. I'm just going to run through them quickly, and people can post thoughts about them later. So they're going to spend a lot of time improving the game health, so looking at improving matchmaking and accounting for various playstyles. They're reworking the Raccoon City map because people find it quite difficult, so it's going to have 3 different versions. They're going to increase the amount of login bonuses, Blood Rush events, and boosted Rift Fragment events, which should be really nice. There's a whole big backstory that they're with the Observer that they're going to shake up, but they were keeping that quite stum on that. They are for the summer. They are reworking over 40 killer and survivor perks, and they're going to change them all because they think the meta's got stale. So a lot of the perks that are constantly run, they're going to change in some way. So everyone's like, "Ooh, yep." New consistent changes to perks to encourage balance. They're reworking the prestige system. So it used to be when you got your character at level 50, you prestige them. You did that 3 times, and you unlocked a bloodied version of their outfit. The new version, and you would lose all your items and stuff you had on them. The new version, you don't lose your items, you don't lose your perks. I mean, you prestige them, you unlock that. You unlock their perk for all the other characters at the level corresponding. So, like, if say I was a prestige Meg, it would unlock her perks at first level. And then a prestige at a second time, it makes that the at second level teachable on their blood webs. I think that's what. So on their blood web, it would just appear straight away at the level you've prestiged them to. I think that's what I got from it. But it's interesting. It's much more rewarding, and they've said if anyone has already prestiged characters, there's a special surprise for you. So we're kind of curious what that is. They're changing the Mori now. The murder animation. So if there's you and one survivor left in the match, as soon as you down them, you auto Mori them.
Okay.
So if someone's at the gate teabagging you and you knock them down, they can't crawl out. I think it just automatically kills them. You get the animation of you murdering them, and it's just to end the game quicker for you. Changing the menu layout for a better clarity. They're going to put up events, and they're adding in preset loadouts, so you can have different loadouts set up. 3 different loadouts for each character.
That's good.
Lots of nice little quality of life, like when you had challenges, you could only equip one, and if you were playing a survivor and you had a killer challenge equipped, you're like, I've missed out any progress. Now you can equip a killer and a survivor challenge at the same time, so you'll never miss out if you switch between them. They're making it so when you're loading into a game, you can still browse the store, browse the challenge web, so it's not just locked. It used to be when you're looking for a game, you couldn't do anything. They're reworking all that, so you're going to be able to do stuff while waiting. They're doing matchmaking incentives, so you get extra blood points for playing certain roles at certain times of the day. They're going to add bots by the end of the year, so you can practice new killers without having to play the games, which is people have been screaming for. They said they're adding a streamer anonymous mode. I thought they already had that, so I'm confused by that. They're doing a Attack on Titan crossover. So when anime, the first ever anime, it's a costume crossover. and they did a big bit on the new killer and the survivor. So the killer's called the Dredge. It's inspired by the Boogeyman. It's a physical representation of a town's darkness, and its power is it can jump between lockers, and it bursts out of lockers. And if you're in a locker and it jumps in the locker, it automatically grabs you. There's a mechanic where you can lock the lockers from the outside, and what happens is the Dredge bursts in it, and it's got to bash its way out, and it is horrifying looking. It is so scary. Its power invokes darkness, so the map goes pitch black, and all you can see is the Dredge coming after you.
That's good.
It's very scary.
Paolo, you want to play that?
No.
And then the new survivor, Hadi Cower, she's been mentioned in the archives, so it's bringing in lore that exists. Born in India but raised in Quebec, so she's our first Indian survivor, and she's been battling the entity, and she's like covered in scars, and she's like a ghost hunter and has been hunting it down. So again, they're really up in the lore story. So there was a lot going on. The anniversary event starts June the 13th to 16th, round about then. The new chapter's June the 6th. And in the anniversary event, there's like going to be like extra blood points, offerings, but you can get the masquerade masks for 12 of the characters. The whole theme is that there's a party being held, and you can win these masks. And I just want to know who the entity has as a party planner. Like, that's quite interesting. But lots and lots of changes coming, lots of things people are looking for. Really basic things, kinda, but things that like the community are so excited about, because it's just going to make the game that much slicker and bring it in line with other multiplayer games. It feels like they played Fortnite and went, "Oh, we like the way they do it. Let's take some hints for those." Just the way the menu works, and you can do stuff while loading in stuff. So it's just gonna be a lot slicker.
It's
gonna be good.
alarming that it's taken them that long to let you do that.
Yeah, it's the weird thing with behavior. Oh, and they announced their new game, Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating simulator. It's real. It's real.
My days.
Everything is thick and thirsty, and it comes out in summer, so look forward to me streaming that.
I would like to imagine that the entity's party planner is Frank from Father of the Bride.
Frank.
I think he could really, put a party together for the entity.
Indeed. Indeed. That's a lot of information. That's good. That was a good drop.
There's loads.
Loads. Very, very good anniversary stream. Lots of people were happy. You obviously have some naysayers who are like, I don't think they should be. And it's like, shh, quiet. And then the fact they've announced, I think they had to announce what was coming next because it got leaked. Someone data mined all their servers and released a bunch of information. So I think to kind of avoid rumors keep going, they were just like, let's just put it out there. And the hype just went even bigger. So it's been good.
Excellent. Thank you, Blender Boy.
You're welcome.
Keeping all the Dead by Daylights known. Do you want some crumbs, everybody?
Always.
Who are these crumbs?
You know Jeff Grubb? Oh, that was a silence I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, who's Jeff Grubb?
I think he's a journalist, a kind of video games journalist. But he's known for saying things. This is going to happen. This is leaked. Basically, he's known for kind of knowing leaks, and his leaks are very accurate.
Okay.
And Jeff Grubb has said that The Last of Us remake is going to be out this holiday, 2022. Do you believe him?
Yay.
Yawn.
Do you want it?
Why are they remaking The Last of Us?
It's ludicrous, isn't it? Ludicrous. So he's saying that holiday 2022 will be a Last of Us remake, possibly to tie in with the show, maybe? I don't know. When's the show
out? Are they going to
out?
make Joel look like Pedro Pascal?
You never know. You never know.
As far as I'm aware, it's going to be remade in the Last of Us 2 engine, I guess. But seeing unless they're actually going to like fix some of the mechanics and take out all that stupid palette swimming stuff, then I don't really see the point.
Wooden pallets.
I mean, I'm
Just
probably
trying to ruin Christmas.
I'm inevitably still going to play it, but yeah,
Well.
I don't see the point. Listen, I remain to be convinced, and you never know. I might be here going, I'm so glad they did it, but I don't think I will be.
Fair play. The worst kept secret in gaming recent news is that EA have ditched the FIFA brand. They've finally announced it. It's going to be EAFC and is coming in 2023. I can't say anything but good things. It's essentially going to be the exact same game, just not called FIFA. That's essentially what they said. So
it's just such a rubbish name, though.
EAFC?
It's really rubbish.
I guess it's alright.
No, it's not.
EAFC. It's kind of matches the rhythm of all their kind of sports games. That kind of punchiness of letters. So like EA F1, EA
I want to know
NBA.
how long it took them in a meeting to come up with that. I mean, they literally just went, EA FC? Right, let's go to lunch.
Happy days.
They didn't even take a second.
So you will get FIFA 23, and then as of next year, it's going to be EAFC. I just hope the women's teams are in it. That's what I want to see from EAFC. The women's league. That's what I want to see.
More so than Partick Thistle.
Well, I'm not getting any choice, really. I suppose they might do the championship, who knows? Listen, Fall Guys is going to be free to play as of the 21st of June. I'm not going to lie, I thought it already was.
Same.
But it's going to tie in with the release, finally, on Xbox and Switch. It's coming out the 21st. It's going to be delisted in Steam because Epic have bought it, essentially. Well, Epic have bought Mediatonic, or whatever they're called. So it's now going to be taken off Steam. If you've got it on Steam, you can still play it through Steam, but you won't be able to buy it on Steam anymore. And yeah, you download it in the Epic Store, and it's going to be fully crossplay with PC, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation.
Which means that we can have a Fall Guys event. We can have a Nearly Men Fall Guys event,
yeah,
and
we can.
everybody can play.
Oh yeah, we
can. You imagine us having like a full blunders like? Can you imagine
Fall
like
Guys
a
is great.
full?
Are people still playing Fall Guys? I thought we were over that.
Well, I imagine this will bring a lot of folk back to the game. I was a bit like, but mainly because it was a bit of a ball ache trying to get everybody together, and you couldn't really play with, you know.
But can you still be like a party of 4?
No, you can do a private server now.
Yeah, you can have.
So you could have 50 people essentially.
That's cute.
Like we could literally have the entire community all playing near enough. Well, actually, the community is much bigger than 50, but you know what I mean. We could have a very large number of the community playing, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think crossplay and free to play will make a big difference to that game and bring a lot of people back. Free
to play, so they're moving to a battle pass system, basically the same as Fortnite and all the rest, basically.
Right.
Nice. Well, I hope they bring on. I hope they bring more cosmetics and stuff, so there's more ways to. I'm sure there already is since the last time, but more ways to make your little bean unique. It is a bean, isn't it?
It's like a jelly bean, yes. It just sounded very rude.
It does sound quite rude, doesn't it? Yeah.
And I just wanted to enjoy that for a moment.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, that's your Cozy's Crumbs. Do you want some subbies?
Subbies.
Yes. Listen, some of these are quite good. The Game Pass editions. As of 17th of May, that was 2 days ago, people. You're getting Jurassic World Evolution 2 on console, PC, and cloud. How was that, Blunder? You've played that, haven't you?
It's good. It's very fun. It's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Her Story is coming. If you've not played Her Story, everybody play that. It's a great wee game.
It's very good, yeah.
Great wee game. Sit and play it with your other half as well if you've got one. Little Witch in the Woods, which is a game preview, is coming to console and PC. Skate is on the cloud. Umurangi, I'm going to guess. Generation Special Edition is on console, PC, and cloud. That's 17th of May. 19th of May, Farming Sim, that's today. Farming Sim 22 is on console, PC, and cloud. That'll be good fun. And Vampire Survivors on PC. 24th of May, you get Floppy Nights. Tightly sex tape. Console, PC, and Hardspace Shipbreaker PC. 26th of May, you're getting a Colin Little game. If ever I heard it.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this.
Sniper Elite 5 is coming to console and PC. He loves that.
You can go home and shoot Nazis in the testicles in slow-mo.
On the 27th of May, you're getting Pac-Man Museum Plus for console and PC, and Cricket 22 is coming to PC. It's already on console. Games of Gold, May the 1st to 31st, Yoki's Island Express, May 16th to the 31st, Viva Pinata Party Animals, and May 16th to June the 15th, The Inner World.
Nah. I mean, let's hope that's not where PlayStation's going.
Oh, do you know, I think it will. PlayStation Plus, and listen, this is a good one. FIFA 22 is on PlayStation Plus for the PS5 and PS4. Tribes of Midgard, which we'll speak about shortly, and Curse of the Dead Gods is your PS Plus. Listen, we're no bigging it up because we've got the Sea of Thieves next week, but next month we're probably going to have a FIFA tournament. So grab a FIFA on your PS Plus. Even if you don't have a PS5, grab it because you might get one.
From you?
PS5.
And that's your subbies.
Subbies.
Now, let me tell you, we were very kindly gifted a code for the Evil Dead game from Saber Interactive and Boss Games, and we've been playing it, haven't we? As I try and find my button.
So good. It's so good.
I mean, well, I think Blunderboy's played the most of this. I don't know if you want to take lead on this, Blunderboy.
Sure. So Evil Dead, it's an asymmetrical horror game where there are 4 survivors versus a demon, and it's absolutely crazy. So I'll talk from the survivors' point of view first. The survivors, it's quite different in the fact that there are 4 roles, and there can only be one type of character in the game at a time, which I like. It means that you're not going to just get a team of all the same people doing the same thing. So there's a leader role who boosts morale and boosts damage. There's a warrior who's good at punching things and killing things. There's a hunter who's good at hunting. And a support role who kind of buffs and heals and provides shields and stuff like that. And as a survivor, it's your job to find 3 pieces of a lost map. Then you have to go get the Kandarian dagger and the lost page of the Necronomicon, and then go defeat the old ones, or the dark ones, and then protect the Necronomicon for 2 minutes while the armies of darkness try to destroy it to banish the evil. And it's really unique because during the game you find chests with loot, and when you loot them, you get these pink bottles, and with those pink bottles, you upgrade what your character's stats are mid-game. That wipes at the end of every game, and you think that's going to get annoying, but it's not. Like, I thought that could become quite irritating, the fact you're constantly buffing and then getting debuffed, but it's actually part of the fun, because there could be some games where you don't find chests for ages and you're really struggling, and then there's some games that you find all the chests, loads of chests to start, and you're like, I am a god!
I think it also helps with the skill of the game, because it can help. It puts everybody in a level playing field, but it also, I think it makes the game a wee bit more interesting, because depending on what sort of demon you're dealing with, you might yourself decide to build your character for that game slightly differently. You might think, or you might have a really good weapon. You're like, I'm prioritizing melee damage right now.
Yeah, it depends on your role as well. So, like, I play Warrior Ash quite often, so I get my melee up straight away and my shields because I'm built to hit. But also, when I use a finisher move, it restores my shields. So if I get that up, it can build me up. And by the end, I'm like untouchable sometimes. Whereas if I'm playing Cheryl, who's a support character, I want her health and shields to be high because she needs to stay alive to support people. And you find different weapons. So you get a melee weapon and a ranged weapon. Ranged weapon, you need to get ammo, but your melee weapon you can use as much as you want. And they have 4 different classes. There's normal, legendary, normal, rare, legendary, and epic. And they get stronger and do more things. Some characters have exclusive weapons. So like Ash is the only one who can use the chainsaw. And then some characters do more damage with certain weapons. So like Arthur, the knight, does more damage with a sword. Kelly does more damage with the meat tenderizer. So they've also got the weapons that suit them more. On the flip side, as the demon, you can choose one of three types of demon. You can be a deadite, so the traditional deadites from Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. You can be the necromancer, which is the skeletons and evil Ash from Army of Darkness, or you can be the puppeteer, which is Eligos. I was getting his name wrong. Eligos from the TV show. And they all have their own play styles. And as a demon, you've got you're the same. All your stats are at 0, and as you go around the level, you level up your demon level, and you put your points into different things like portals or possession or the different units you can summon. And it's your job to stop the goodies winning, basically. And it's good. You get to zoom around as the demon, like smashing down barriers and trees and like zooming over the countryside to get to them. You can possess survivors and turn them on each other, which is horrifying when you have 2 epic weapons and next minute they're being used to murder your team. You're like, no!
You're like, quick, everyone kill me.
Yeah, you're like, beat me up, go for it. And again, it's all about strategy, so it's really unique in the way it plays. It's hard to compare it to any sort of asymmetrical game. Everyone was like, it's going to be a Dead by Daylight killer. They're not alike at all. Not at all. I've been saying it's more like Resident Evil Project Resistance, because you had the mastermind to put down troops, and you kind of had to play the long game and figure it out. Project Resistance was good. It was hackers that were in that game, and Capcom pulling support. But I'd say it's got most in common with that, because that had different rules as well for the survivors. So it's very much like it's a strategy. It's not like I hunt you down, stab you, and hook you.
I think it's very much. I think from the killer side of things or the demon side of things, it's very much like that game.
Mm-hmm.
For me, as a survivor, this game is an awful lot closer to Friday the 13th. I think, and
I felt that. Yeah,
but again, just. It's really good. It's really, really good. For me, it is a bit of a Dead by Daylight killer, just because I don't really like Dead by Daylight. So if I was going to really play anything, if I'm going to play an asymmetrical horror game, then inevitably this is the one I'd choose. I think it suits my playstyle a bit better. I like the combat. I like the fact that you can be fighting deadites and stuff like that as well. I like the fact there's cars and various other things that make it a bit more interesting and make it a bit hard. It means that every single match, even though you're at the moment just in one map.
Well, there's 2 maps actually. We figured that out. Yeah, they're very similar looking, but there's 2.
Yeah. But there's different ways to do each match, and it kind of so far feels that not every game is the same. So yeah. And a little later tonight, we're going to play a little. So people who are listening on the podcast, you can check out on our Twitch channel. There will be a VOD. There will be a VOD for a bit of not Dead by Daylight, Evil Dead, Evil Dead by Daylight. You can watch the Nearly Men play it if you're curious. But I'm looking forward to having another go at it. I suppose we better talk about the missions, because there is actually I had kind of missed this, but there is single player missions, which are actually really good. They're based on individual films or what have you, and they are quite story based. The only thing I would say is they're pretty hard. They are pretty difficult, and at the moment, there is no checkpoints in them, and I think it really needs checkpoints, because I had to try and do one 3 times in a row, and I was raging because I died right near the end twice. But they're really good, and they mean
they make you a better survivor as well. Like they kind of teach you how to do things for the main game, which is good.
I think they just give it a bit more value as well, because you might not always want to play the multiplayer game against people. Although there is an AI mode and there is various other things as well, but although it's still very much the game, it follows a much more sort of linear story based sort of format in the missions, and you can unlock characters and various other things by completing them. And I think they're really good. As I said, a bit hard, and I think inevitably, I'm sure there are some checkpoints coming for them, because I think it really does need them. But it was great. I have to say, this game kind of snuck up on me. I do remember hearing that it was coming, but I hadn't really known much. I know Blunder was super excited about it.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, nice. We also had a wee go of one of the PS Plus games this month, The Tribes of Midgard, which was great fun. It's a wee kind of co-op, survival-y, wavy kind of. How would you describe it?
It's like a sort of co-op survival game, sort of meets a kind of Diablo-style dungeon crawler, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very much a genre blender, isn't it? Like there's so
Yeah.
many sort of genres in it. We sometimes aren't quite sure what we're going to play from week to week. It can get a bit tricky to think of a new game or think of something to do for the podcast, especially when you've been doing this for about 2 years now on Twitch. But so it was a PS Plus game, and I just saw it and thought, oh, it's Vikings, and it's kind of, it's co-op, and you can have up to 10 people playing and all that sort of stuff, and it just seemed worth checking out, and I'm so glad we played it. I thought it was great.
That was great
I
fun. Yeah.
really liked it.
So
That was lots of fun.
we played with Uzi83 and Gavin Alaf, and the three of us, and that was great fun. And I think every one of us was saying it'd be even better if it was a full 10. It would just be so much fun.
Can you imagine how hard it would be?
I know.
Aye. So the basic...
But it would be quite awesome, wouldn't it, to like divvy up into teams and guard each gate or whatever. I think that could be very exciting.
The basic thing is that you're trying to advance your pack, if you like. Meanwhile, there's big giants coming to destroy your village, as well as wee minions every night come and attack your village. There is big giants that come. I don't know, was it every 20 minutes or something? I couldn't even put a stamp on it. Which you have to kill, and they're very hard. They're very hard, but I mean, it was good. We barely scratched the surface of it in that 3 hours that we played.
The thing that got us most was the frost. Oh,
that's right. It
couldn't do
became cold.
anything
We couldn't move. Yeah,
cold.
couldn't go anywhere. That's right.
So that's something we had to. I think if we were to play again, we would now know to start getting ourselves warm clothing. That's something you need to progress. You can't just go, oh, I like this costume, I'm sticking with it. We needed warm stuff, and we didn't have it, and we didn't have the supplies to make it, and that started to affect.
Well, that's the thing, because we knew what we needed, we just didn't know where to find it.
Yeah.
Unfrozen meadows or something. I was like, where do they live?
I'd like to play.
It was really good.
Yeah, I'd like to play more of this. I think it's going to be one of these games that I want to play more, but never ever get a chance to, really. But I really hope we do manage to get another wee game of it, because it was good fun.
Absolutely.
Any other games you're playing, gentlemen? Colin?
I've been doing a wee bit of Stranded Deep, but I haven't had an awful lot of chance to play it this week. I played a little tiny bit of it. I did a bit of Sea of Thieves the other night as well. It's at that difficult point in the season for me with Sea of Thieves where there's not an awful lot to do because I've maxed out the renown and I've done the adventures. But the murder mystery, is coming very soon. I'm quite excited about that. That's going to be really interesting because not only is there going to be a mystery to solve in games, but some of the clues are going to come via social media and through videos and through channels, and it's going to be stuff. Some of the clues are going to be really hard. Some of them might be a bit more straightforward. It's going to take the community working together across various things to solve the murder, and I'm quite excited to see how they do it. They did this before with the runes and all that, and they basically teased the release of what was it called again? What was it called? The Deep. The basically the one that the ocean crawlers and the
the mermaid one.
Yeah, I can't remember what that release was called, but they sort of teased that very slowly over social media and through. Like they had little runes in the corners of pictures and all that sort of stuff, and inevitably they'll be going even further with this. I'm excited about the mysteries. I've really enjoyed the adventures. I have a few niggles about kind of the mechanics of the Shrouded Deep. Getting the commendation was very, very difficult to do because people were. If you went on a server, I went on to 3 servers in a row, and the particular mega I needed to do had already been done on that server. There was no way to check without, getting your ship ready and then going all the way there to check, and that was annoying. I felt that wasted the players' time, and that disappointed me. And as a result, I didn't get a chance to complete the commendation. I hope Rare learned from that. There was also a lot of people that just got sunk by other players every time they tried to do the event, which isn't great as well. So, but I think Rare will have heard this. It doesn't take away from the fact that I think generally the adventure was very good and I really enjoyed it. But I think they could possibly tweak the specifics of how they do it. I mean, you're never going to please everybody, but
sure.
Yeah, that it was a little bit tricky, and also forcing people to work together was a nice thing. But there's lots of people who like to solo slip and just like to play themselves, and forcing people together to have to do things. I mean, I quite like the fact, Glitterbeard, for instance. I quite like, because of the very idea of Glitterbeard. I like the idea of finding a crew and doing that together. I'd be reluctant if they started forcing this more often. I think it needs to be a bit more. Yeah, I mean, because even we didn't actually we got sunk, we got killed by the Shrouded Deep, and by the time we came back, a guy who was perfectly nice and very helpful came along and they ended up killing the thing for us by the time we got back. That's a wee bit disappointing. We wanted to do it.
Right.
They didn't do it. They weren't doing it to be bad. They were actually doing it to help us. But it's just one of those things. But yeah, so very much looking forward to next week's Community Day. Yeah. But I'm already ready for a new season of Sea of Thieves.
Oh, he's keen. Blunder, what you been up to, son?
So been doing my Resident Evil recap series on a Tuesday night. So I played Resident Evil Gun Survivor on the PS1, and why that game gets so much slack? It's actually a really fun game. I always do this every time I play it. I go, this is actually fun. The voice acting is atrocious, and the story's a bit limited, but it is part of the canon story. So it was fun going back, and there's a bunch of people, original Stephen and Baker Boy, were like, this game actually looks good. It's like, I know it is. So now that I've done that, we get to go all the way back, and we're going to go to Resident Evil 0 next week, which will be fun.
My. Nice.
Wait, I say next week. I might be at an event for work. I'll post in the socials. And then Monday night, I went back to The Sims 4 just for a chill stream. So I went to do a chill stream about building the Resident Evil mansion, and then it was not chill because I couldn't get the dimensions to work. So I ended up stressing out for ages. So it was not as chill as I planned. But I did do a new shell challenge. So if we've any keen Sim builders in the Early Men community, if you go into the Sims library, whatever it's called, and you search hashtag BlunderBoy87, there's a shell challenge up called the Mystic River. And basically what you do is you download that and you design the build to the theme of the Mystic River. There's a big river, there's three buildings. The only thing you can't do is destroy any of the walls. You can replace them with fences and stuff, that's fine. And if they're due for the 12th of June, and then the 13th of June, I'll do some tours. I'll tour them online, so we'll look at them and see the fantastical creations that people have come up with. And some of the community have made amazing shell challenge builds before. I'm always really impressed with the creativity from people in the community. So if you want to take part in that, go for that.
Nice.
And you get to murder Champagne's daughter in it, or anything?
Well, I was just about to say, call them one Discord with a Sean Penn GIF in response to the Mystic River.
The film Mystic River, which is
I was like, that's nice.
It's not really the film that you could get a lot of jokes out of.
No.
It's a very good film, but it's it's not.
I saw that reply and was like, I think this is the wrong chat. I don't know what that means.
I knew that Paolo would know. I didn't think anybody else would necessarily know, but I knew Paolo would get the reference.
Excellent. It was for me, just for me.
That's the sort of hit rate I go for with jokes. I'm like, well, one person laughed and said.
And Nelson, or is that you?
That's me.
Sorry, I asked you that as you just took a drink. It was the wrong time to ask you. I should be able to pause and let you drink. Lovely. Well, the viewers, I tell you, the viewers have been playing lots of games. Let me tell you. Tommy B is in touch. No surprises from me, says F1 and a touch of Crusader Kings 3. I'm tempted by Crusader Kings 3 again, by the way.
Aye.
Callmac 42. Back on Destiny 2, he says, found out that cross-save only means you can play all your characters on different platforms, but DLC does not transfer, meaning you need to buy all DLC for every platform, which I thought was a bit crap. It's a bit of a boot in the old cojones. But he got the Witch Queen for DLC for Xbox and he's loving it. Also played a game called Tell Me Why, which is on Game Pass. Reminds me...
Tell me why!
Nope, different. Reminds me of that little game... Beyond Two Souls, it was out a few years ago, in a way that it's story based and your choices affect how the game goes. Really good, and worth checking out for something a wee bit different. Apart from that, it's just enjoying getting pumped in F1 by all the people who clearly practice way too much. I hear you.
Tell Me Why is quite good.
Tell me why.
It's very much like Life is Strange, that sort of thing. Sherry Bobbins, I think I might still have it on the Xbox because Sherry Bobbins was playing it and quite enjoyed it, but just didn't really get the time to kind of get through it. But yeah, it's quite good. It's definitely worth checking out.
Lovely.
It's I think it's Don't Nod that make it.
I think you may be right. You might be right.
Maybe the makers of Life is Strange. Yeah. Got a trans main character. Yeah, that's the one. It's really good. It's really an interesting story. It's a sort of brother and sister story, and kind of harks back. It kind of unveils things as it goes on. Don't want to talk too much about it, obviously, but it's definitely worth checking out. It's very cool.
Nice. Bri22 is in touch. Just been playing lots of Star Citizen. I hear that. Plus some Squadrons, retro stuff on my Dreamcast, and more Chinatown Detective Agency. Nice. Hamster Boy. He's been failing Formula 1, luckily. Have the Epic Shinty on my team. The Epic Shinty, I should say. It's cheat code. Still loving Elden Ring, and I think I must surely probably be getting near the end. Got FIFA 22, now it's free, and played some of that, which has been fun and maddening all at once. I hear that. Viva la Hazy on Twitter was saying Horizon Forbidden West. It's not as good as the first. Nothing has changed enough. The story's been plodding along but the game seems to be doing its best to stop me from getting into the story and enjoying it. Oh, that's a controversial opinion. Potentially the opposite of what Blunderboy was saying.
Blunder liked it a lot. I need to go back to it. I've just not had the time, but I think it's better than the first game so far.
I sat and played it for 4 days without a break. I adored it. It was amazing.
Oh, there you are. Excuse me. Audentia's been in touch, trying out an indie game called Pine, and looking forward to the new Murder Mystery Sea of Thieves event. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Jericho Pliskin has been streaming NHL 22 as part of her team, the Iced Cats. Good name. I play left defence, and we recently had another friend join as left wing, so teaching him the ropes. Nice. Also playing Star Citizen and a wee bit of WWE 2K22, which is pretty good. Also enjoying SD Gundam and Monster Hunter Stories 2 on Switch. Got my OLED repaired and it no longer screams while being used. Yay. That's good.
Those OLED switches are sweet.
Are they? I've never seen one. Never seen one with my own eyeballs.
Well, I've never seen it with my own eyeballs, but I have coveted from afar.
Oh my. Jamesy42. Apart from realising that sport games are not my forte, see Formula 1 and the PGA 2K21 tournaments for evidence, I've played Trek to Yomi, which is a beautiful looking game and goes off into a storyline that surprised me. While a fun game, it can get a bit repetitive and sometimes the fighting is a bit stodgy, but it's a good game to play. I started this. I literally played about 3 minutes of it or something. It looks beautiful. Something else. I get interrupted. It looks beautiful. The style of it's great. So I can't comment any further than that.
I watched Queen of the North, who's now called
Sarah Popcorn Chat.
Popcorn Chat. I was like, is it Sarah does Popcorn Chat? No. I watched Sarah play it, and it looked good. It looked fun.
Yeah, it's nice wee style. So that's the viewers' games. If you want to get in touch with us, here's how you can do it.
Love to hear from you. Find us on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram, where we are @NearlyMen, or email info@thenearlymen.com.
And so the new releases, let me tell you, delivers us the moon on PS5 and Xbox Series X is out on the 19th. That's because the sequel's coming, everyone. Deliver us Mars. I'm excited. That's the 19th. Deadcraft's also coming out on the 19th. End Zone, A World Apart Survivor Edition is on the 19th. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song is also on the 19th. Cotton Fantasy is coming for the PS4 and Switch on the 20th. The Endless Summer Search for Surf is also on the 20th. On the 24th, you're getting Soda Crisis for PC. 26th of May, My Time at Sandrock. You're getting Sniper Elite 5. Cow the Kangaroo is on the 27th. Arcade Spirits is also on the 27th, and New Challengers. Pac-Man Museum Plus. Remote Life Unexplored 2, The Wayfarer's Legacy. Moolander, that's Moolander, everyone, on the 27th. Coming on the 31st, you're getting The Last Taxi, a wee VR game, and also Insomnus Enhanced Edition. On the 2nd of June, you're getting Diablo Immortal and Gigapocalypse. On the 3rd, Empire Dukes of the Far Frontier. That's your new releases.
Nice.
Any excitement from chat, people, or this just boring?
There's been little bits here and there. Various people were wondering about lots of chat about floppy nights.
Excellent.
Evil Monkey wondered if it was a XXX version of Flappy Bird. Remember Flappy Bird? Evil Monkey also picked up Evil Dead the game because it's crossplay and said, I'm gonna chainsaw Colin's ass so hard. He also said, I bought Switch Sports today for the family. Woo! And then says, I'm made of money. Sherry Bobbins was of course also saying that she also understood the Mystic River reference. Subtle Sraff talking about makers of Life is Strange says, I played it. It's by the makers of Life is Strange. This is Tell Me Why. Got a trans main character. It's great, and I hear that song in my head every time I hear read the title. And of course, on that song, Magic or Day, our wonderful friend Magic or Die, said, "Let the man finish his song." That's to you, Paolo. He's talking to you. And then, to be honest, that was all going very well. But I have to say, I think Evil Monkey has won the chat because Baker Boys just appeared and said, "Oh, hey guys," and Evil Monkey said, "Oh, hi, Mark," which is literally just yeah.
Beautiful.
Sorted.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, that was episode 109. 109? That's unbelievable. 110. It's a new website page next week. My days. Oh, my days. We are back on the 2nd of June for episode 110, 8 p.m. on this channel. If you're watching live, please do stay tuned. We're going to play some Evil Dead.
Yes.
It was so badly. Do any of you gentlemen have anything more to say?
Charge joypads.
I would just say, remember, go to itch.io if you want to get those TTRPGs. You can get those and raise some money for a very good cause as well. Itch.io. We will put the link in the chat. You get, what is it, 275?
275 tables over. $1,300 worth for $10. Give them
a $10 donation.
Yeah, give them 10.
To
Give them a
help support reproductive rights for all. So yeah, check that out, and don't forget next Thursday, 26th, that is the Nearly Men's Community Sea of Thieves Adventure. We'll have a lot of fun. We're all going to play. If you want to get involved, give us a shout. Spaces are filling up super fast. We've got a couple of spots left at the moment. Otherwise, we'll have a little list for reserves as well. But let us know if you want to join us.
Lovely. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure doing 109 with you. Sign off for me, Colin.
This is Captain Shambles, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off.
Sign off for me, Blender.
Bye.
See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.